Growing up, I was very closed-minded. I believe that everything that was is what always will be. And I believe that the environment that I grew up in will be the environment that will maintain me and dictate the story of my life. And what was that environment? Well, I am both blessed and cursed to say that I was born to two parents struggling with addiction. I grew up in the Pleasant Grove and South Dallas area, in a neighborhood where it was rare to meet someone who had even graduated high school, where on every other corner there was either a drug dealer sure to make their next dime or an addict ready to catch their next fix, and where the sounds of my beloved cartoons were drowned out by the sounds of gunshots, fights, and arguments, and what seemed like never-ending house parties. Knowing this, you will understand how it would have been easy for me to have jumped on the school-to-prison pipeline, or why it would have been easy to see me or my black face on another white t-shirt. But I am glad to announce to you all today that not only am I the first and only of my parents' combined 5 children to graduate high school, I am currently attending the University of North Texas at Dallas, pursuing a career in law and politics. Vote Thomas Palmer, U.S. Senate 2038. I'll see y'all there. But you may ask yourself, how? What happened? What changed in my life that shifted the paradigm on my own self-worth? Shifted the paradigm. 2 things happened. First, on December 11th, 2008, my first niece was born. And let me tell y'all something. There's nothing that changes your image on willing ignorance than having to take care of another human being. Having to feed that child where there may not be food in the fridge, having to bathe that child when there may not be hot water, and having to be a role model for that child when she has none. And at a very early age, I decided that this would not be my life forever. But I hadn't the means nor the drive to change anything until the second event happened. On a seemingly normal day in November, I was called into the auditorium. Myself and 15 other young men got the chance to meet a very influential individual, a man who to this day I admire and respect, a man who wanted to share with us his dream. That man's name was Nikhil Douglas, and his dream was the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, or BOMLA for short. A school where young boys like myself could go and not only learn how to be intellectuals, but how to be future leaders. And while at BOMLA, I learned 3 influential lessons that helped me and guided me to this stage today, and will surely take me to bigger stages that I would have never dreamed for myself. And I would like to share those 3 lessons with you all today. The first lesson that I learned at BOMLA was to be audacious and to have audacity. For me, that means to be bold, to step out of your frame and see what the world has to offer. And my first instance of having audacity actually happened before I even stepped into the halls of BOMLA. Around the time that the opportunity came for me to apply to the school, I chose not to take it. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I had the skill set for pre-AP and AP classes, the skill set for college readiness. I wasn't even sure I was going to college. But I had a principal, and her name was Yolanda Knight, and Nikhil Douglas, who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, who brought me into the office one day after the application process had closed and told me that I was going to apply and I was going to attend. And I did. Now you may ask, well, Thomas, where is having audacity in that story? Well, for me, that story tells me that I didn't have audacity. There was a lack thereof. And today I gotta think, where would I be had I not had those people believe in me to see something that I didn't see? I surely wouldn't be here. But now you better believe that I'm going to have audacity. I'm going to be audacious because I can't miss another opportunity. And the second lesson that I learned at Baumla was to redefine stereotypes. Now, for those of you who don't know, stereotypes are the preconceived ideas and thoughts that people have of you before you open your mouth. And stereotypes have no border. They don't judge you based on just gender. You can be a man or a woman. You can be black, white, Hispanic. You can be Christian, Muslim, or Jewish. And there's always going to be a stereotype about you. But it's up to you to redefine that stereotype. I always tell people that you're always going to be a statistic. But it's up to you to choose if you want to be a positive statistic or a negative statistic. For me, being a black man, there are many stereotypes. I may not be a good father. I may end up in jail. I might be forced to pay child support. Those are not stereotypes I want to live by. And those are not statistics that I want to dictate my life. In 2018, I was pulled over 16 times. And of those 16 times, I received one ticket. I deserved that ticket. I was speeding. We're not going to talk about that. But 15 other times, I didn't receive a ticket. About 13 of those times, before the officer had even asked for my license or my insurance or my registration, he began to interrogate me. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Do you have a firearm in the vehicle? Do you have any drugs in the vehicle? Have you been smoking tonight? Well, officer, I'm coming from either work or school. I don't have a firearm. I don't smoke. But that officer or those officers already had a preconceived thought of what I was doing or what I was planning to do. And I chose to be respectful, and I chose to act accordingly because it was my hope that my actions could redefine the stereotype that officer or those officers had of me. To this day, I don't know if it worked, but I know that I started something for them. Maybe the next black man that they pull over, they won't act that way. Maybe not. But we choose to keep trying. And I must say, it's not that I believe that all officers are bad, but I know that they have had experiences, and those experiences help dictate what they believe. But we have to show them that there are better experiences for ourselves. And the third lesson that I learned at Baumla, and the hardest for most people to follow, is to not make excuses for yourself or for anyone else. And this is difficult for most people because it's easy to justify our shortcomings. It's easy to come up with a reason why we made it to the finish line but didn't cross that white tape. Or I didn't get that job because of this reason. Or I didn't get the raise because of that reason. Excuses aren't anything but a crippling effect, giving us an out for not giving our best. I told you about Mr. Nakia Douglas. Whenever he was the principal of Baumla, he would always stop whichever young man he would see in the hall and ask about their grades. And the reason he did that was because he always expected 120% of us. And he always expected 120% of us because 20% of us can go to an excuse, and 100% of us can go to giving our best work. And because of these three lessons that I learned, I choose to believe that I am working to be the best role model for my niece and for the rest of my nieces and nephews born since. And I want you all to understand, although these were the most fundamental lessons for me, they were lessons that were shared amongst all the young men of Bamla. And I want to prove that to you all. As I conclude, I want to tell you all a story about the school, something that we did every morning. We'd all come together in the auditorium, and we'd all recite the school mission, the vision, the motto, and we'd sing the school song, and we'd say the school creed. Now, I don't think you all want me to sing for you. Trust me, you don't want that. But what I will do for you all today is I will recite the school creed so you may understand what the young men at Bamla understands. We are the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. We believe in the transformative powers of knowledge and wisdom. We believe that success is brought about by perseverance, not chance. We know our actions are governed by strength of character rather than rims of emotion. We resist excuses, holding ourselves accountable for our actions. We are successful through honesty, humility, and the pursuit of intellectual excellence. We are loyal to our family. We are our brother's keepers. We are committed to our community, and we are servants of mankind. We have the audacity to hope, and we have the audacity to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, be audacious. Redefine those stereotypes for yourself, and never make excuses for your greatness. Thank you.